Hello, welcome to Tech Talk Kenya, where we talk about innovations, technology, and explore different angles on innovation in our society. And today, we have been joined by a guest, a gentleman. Hi,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm doing good.
Okay, please tell us who are you? What do you do?
I go by the name Paul
Okay.
Wako. Basically, I'm a software engineer with a software engineering background. Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay, and I'm your host, Diana Olima. So, Paul, tell us what made you choose this career path, or maybe did someone tell you to choose this one? You know, African parents, how they do it. Oh, please go and do this one.
Okay, basically, I'm a techie by choice, personal choice. I began interacting with the computers way back when we had the great old kinda screens. That's the time I began introduction with the computers. I continue doing computer related stuff for like entirely around for the past 15 or so years alongside my academics. So basically the choice towards IT is a personal choice, and it's something that has come out of passion. Um, Basically, if I try to refer either of my parents with an IT background, there is none. They know less about IT, but I do know much about IT.
Okay, and do you think that this field is only okay? It's a male-dominated field. Like you hear that science and technology, this field is male dominated. Do you think that female, maybe a female tech can come into this career and be successful than a male one?
Sure, tech is about passion. Tech is about how you think about it. There is no a direct formula of succeeding in tech, since it's very wide, and there are multiple ways of handling everything. So as long as you can be good in what you're doing, that one is what matters much. It doesn't matter whether you are a lady or a male. So long as you are able to do that which you know in the best way possible, you are a star in your own way.
That's touching. And how can you describe the tech here in Zitech University? The
Um,
information, how they, I hope you understand.
Basically, here in Compass, uh, I might say it's an eye opener regarding whatever you are being taught in class. Just an eye opener, but the actual stuff is it's done in the can say in the field, or you do the dirty work by doing a lot of research because technology keeps on evolving from time to time. So there is need for a constant research, constant learning, since whatever you might be taught uh, might be relevant or was relevant in the past 20 years or so, but right now it's not relevant. So you need to be up to date. So that one is just an eye opener. You know, certain things do exist, but they do exist at that time. What about
Sorry,
this
Paul,
time?
but do they give you the exact resources, the resources you need as an, for example, as an IT student, you know?
As I said, the resources that are in the university that are confined to academics, um, on academic perspective, they are enough, but on a personal development or on a professional perspective, the resource given by the university will never be enough, since university will not be there to provide the information that is up to date. At least they have a duration of the information that they have. So that duration is passed by time. I think that is the correct term. It's passed by time, but that doesn't mean that the information is irrelevant. The information is okay. It's only that it's past by time. You need to be up to date with what is happening currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on our social media today, we are hearing this issue of hacker talk, hacker talk. For a person who doesn't know hacker talk, can you explain that term, the hacker talk term?
Mm, I didn't get you very well. There is a hacker talk or a
Hacker,
hackathon.
hackathon. Yeah, I think you're hackathon.
Yeah, basically, it's a hand-on kind of event where you congregate um, a team of developers in whichever field you congregate. You try and collaborate and work on a tech uh, a tech solution or a tech tool within a specific duration,
Okay.
and be able to achieve that tool fully within that specified duration. Let's say, for example, um, there is there is a very good example, like East African community. They have like a data a data a data hackathon where they provide you with the data, then they request specific solution that target the specific people in East Africa. Let's say, for example, a health they provide the health data. Then in a group where you have people with different specialties, let's say, for example, you might have somebody like a data engineer, you can have somebody doing geospatial, you can have like a software developer. Those people come together, they coalesce around this data, understand the data, then derive a solution from the data, build the solution within a specific duration of time. Let's say, for example, 72 hours.
Okay.
By the lapse of 72 hours, you should be having a working solution that is relevant and within context of whatever you've been provided with.
Have you ever participated in one?
Not one, I've participated in many.
Okay.
I've participated in many.
What was your experience?
The experience is just good. The same way you can hang out in a club. I think that is
You
that's a
said
copy
you
of the
have
same.
participated in many. Can you just list a few, for our listeners, for at least to know you, get to know
I
who you
think
really are?
we've met with many people. There is the most recent one hosted by Go My Code. It was a 12-hour, 6 to 6 hackathon. I've also participated in Impact Africa. I've participated in others I tend to forget because it has taken some time.
Yeah, you've
But
taken
there are a number
many.
of them. I've participated in a
Do
number
they
of
really
them.
pay? Like, or you just go there for experience, for exposure? Do they really pay?
Leave alone the bid for the money. The main aim of the hackathon is to first help you to connect,
Networking.
to network, connect with the
Okay.
like-minded individuals, or also people who are working in the market, or people who are directly involved with the market. That one is the basic, I might say, the basic essence of having the hackathon. The second thing is collaboration, being able to collaborate with different kind of teams, let's say different skills, because in a typical employment environment, you won't be able to work alone. You'll need, there is somebody doing something different, but you only interact. At some point, you have to join your work for the work to be full. So that one is just an experience per se. On the money bit, yes, there is money involved, but money is always the goal, but it's not everything is in an hackathon.
But you guys are being paid in USDs. Okay, for example, you see, there is a hacker. You said it's called
A hackathon.
hackathon, and maybe, for example, you see a check of USD just in USDs. It's
But you know,
paid.
but you
It's
know,
a huge sum of money.
but you know that one is only for a section of the participants. Not everybody will be paid at the end of it all. But as an individual, the basic or what you gain from the hackathon is what I've just stated. Because at the end of it all, when you are in a race, you expect to get a winner, a runners up, and
Oh, so
somebody who never came out with the money. So that one does not discount the fact that everybody has benefited. So there is that one who has gotten an extra benefit of cash, but at the end of it all the people who have attended the same setup, they've benefited in a different way. Not it's not always about money, but it's about what you get from that place in terms of skills and connection. Remember, connection is important than that money, because at the end of it all, if you end up getting even 1,000,000 shillings, then you don't have proper ways to maintain that 1,000,000 shillings, and somebody has a network of people who can give him gigs that are
yeah,
way more than that 1,000,000 shillings.
being
You see,
smart.
that person has benefited more than this one who has the cash, and he or she cannot be able to grow the cash.
Okay, Paul, what is that one misconception about tech, IT, and what are some of the challenges that you have faced in this field?
For the challenges are normally many, but
Let's begin there with the misconception.
misconception.
Yeah, about
There is
being in IT, being in technology, you know.
there is one whereby it's normally assumed that IT is hard. That one is the most common one, and even when you try to speak to some people, maybe you are new and you want to venture into IT, you speak to some people, they tell you like, don't try that computer science, it will
Be
give you
sincere, is
problems.
it not really hard? Like,
No,
wewe
no, no, no,
umeifanya,
no. No,
umeiona, you know?
it's not hard. It's not hard. From experience, or my own personal experience, it has never been hard.
Okay.
The only thing, it's not straightforward. That one is the only thing. It's not hard, but not straightforward. Because let's say, for example, you have your own establishment. Maybe it's being run by a software, but for me to plug into your software, you've shared the documentation of your establishment, but for me to plug in successfully into your establishment, I need to I need to borrow some things from you directly, of which that one is not listed in the documentation, yet they call that documentation an end-to-end an end-to-end guide. So you can see something like that. You cannot actually plug in directly, but you need the support from that institution for you to be able to plug in directly. So that one is not an end-to-end, yet the document is written an end-to-end. I think you can get that example. It's a bit simpler.
I hope mesikia hiyo, that this misconception about saying that technology, oh, ukifanya IT lazima ukuwe genius. Mesikia, kila mtu anaweza ifanya.
Yeah,
Now,
that's true. That's true.
Paul, tell us about the challenges, you know. Venye umetoka hadi kufika hapa mali uko, there were challenges. Venye ulikuwa able tackle their challenges, to handle their challenges, you know.
Yeah, of course, like not every place is rosy.
Yeah.
As you know, like the IT, sometimes you might get some people who will give you a really good nightmare, and you might not like it. Let's say, for example, you are dealing with somebody, maybe a client. That client does not know what he really wants, but he has an idea of what he wants. So the idea keeps on mutating from point A to point B to point C to point D.
But ujue wazee wao.
At the end of it all, you end up spending a lot of time and a lot of work put into building something. At the end of it all, it gets a rejection. Like the client is not like, this is not what I wanted. I can give you an example.
Okay.
They normally say, I described for you a sneaker. Then what I want is maybe a loafer. I want a loafer, and I've described for you a sneaker. So that one is the challenge that we normally face. And most clients don't want to accept that That is what they describe to you versus what they really want.
Okay.
So that one is the biggest challenge in the space. The other one is just there are not really more open resources. More so, if you want to do some things, let's say for example, cybersecurity is a bit censored because it's very sensitive. So that one is it's very censored. I can cite like the current scenario whereby you have an Israel US Iran war. They try to limit data, so those analysts, they try to limit amount of information that can get to a certain person. Okay. So the same way, some fields such as cybersecurity, you have limited information. So most of it you just unearth it by doing a lot of research and doing a lot of tests, of which it might be dangerous as well.
Okay, and now as we wind up, our technology is evolving. What do you think is the future? You've seen AI venye inajifanya. Unadhani future yetu na hii technology itakuwaje? Just a brief one.
We should learn to coexist. That one is what I can say.
Coexist,
we should learn to coexist with the technology, because at the end of it all, in the next few years, we will be talking about quantum processing and what have you. So with that capacity, we'll be able to reduce a lot of manual routine works that people have normally been doing. As you can see, they are smart. You have a smart home, you have a smartphone, a smart fridge, a smart everything. So everything might go smart, but that one does not discount that the fact that we need
we
human
should be
beings.
ready to adapt.
So we should be ready to adapt and be able to use what is coming to our benefit, despite of all these disadvantages. You see, like the technology itself has a lot of disadvantages, but if you focus on the disadvantages, we'll not be able to get the best from that technology. So we should always try and look at it positively, then try and rectify the negativity that comes with the technology.
Okay, thank you so much, Paul. That was really impactful, and that brings us to the end of our show. I was your host, Diana Lima. Till we meet again next time.